Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Currently I'm drinking a beautiful cup of coffee with my yummy strawberry cheesecake creamer. So good, so good. Alright, I have an unboxing video for you guys. My brother sent me something else in the mail, and this time I've not opened it at all. I know what's inside because he told me. But, we're gonna just, whatever it is. So here's the box. Look, tape. Oh look, more paper. Y'all, it is the Twilight Saga White Collection by Stephanie Meyer. Look at the gorgeousness. We've got Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn, and The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner. Gorgeous. And in here, it just tells you of the things. Look at the gorgeousness. However, I am not going to open this. The plastic will stay on it because I'm moving in just a couple of months anyway. So I will most likely end up doing another video on this in the future. You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna open it anyway. Ooh. Okay. First of all, let's talk about this. For example, look at this. Look how gorgeous it is. Because that's the cover of Twilight. And over on this side is the cover of Eclipse. And then on the back you see tiny miniature pictures of all the books. But now we're just gonna get into it. Come on. There we go. Ooh, y'all. This is gorgeous. Because obviously it's completely white looking. And the back is red. And the back says, Twilight. About 3 things I was absolutely positive. First, Edward was a vampire. Second, there was a part of him, and I didn't know how dominant that part might be, that thirsted for my blood. And third, I was unconditionally and irrevocably in love with him. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Oh wait, this way. This still is one of my favorite all-time series. In fact, Stephanie Meyer is the author that actually got me into vampire fiction to begin with. This is just gorgeous, y'all. Now, this edition came out December 2012, so about 5 years ago. It's so beautiful. Now we're moving on. Now we're looking at New Moon. Ooh, gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I have to admit, these are not perfect because they did get they're roughed up a bit. Not so much, but as you can see, there are like, I don't know if you can see on camera, but there's like spots. But here's New Moon. You can really see the white spots on the back. See here and over there. Anyway, the back says New Moon. I knew we were both in. Oh, you can't say it. I knew we were both in mortal danger. Still, in that instant, I felt well, whole. I could feel my heart racing in my chest, the blood pulsing hot and fast through my veins again. My lungs filled deep with the sweet scent that came off his skin. I'm trying to read it through the camera, if so, that's why. It was like there had never been any hole in my chest. I was perfect, not healed, but as if there had never been a wound in the first place. And of course, this one is much bigger than I mean, these are just the same. They just have this beautiful collection. Beautiful. Now we're moving on to Eclipse. Absolutely gorgeous. I love these covers. I'm actually really glad these don't have basically like a girl and a guy on the cover. You know, I'm really glad that the covers were very symbolic. You know, and the back says Eclipse. In the dead silence, all the details suddenly fell into place for me. With a burst of intuition, I think that's intuition. Yeah, intuition. Something Edward didn't want me to know, something that Jacob wouldn't have kept from me. It was never going to end, was it? For the very longest time, Eclipse was my favorite book in the series for the longest time because it was in that perfect period. Because, you know, with Twilight, they had just met. With New Moon, you know, Edward had left, so Eclipse was was the book where they were back. You know, the previous two books were behind them, and everything was good. You know, and so yeah, for the longest time, Eclipse was my absolute favorite book. That is until Breaking Dawn came out, which here it is, bitches. Oh, I love this picture. I love this picture, this cover so much. And, oh, gorgeous. Also, of course, it's also the very biggest book in the entire series. Look at that shit. A total of whopping 756 pages. And then we continue blissfully into this small but perfect piece of our forever. I'm very disappointed that we did not have Kristen Stewart's or Bella's voiceover saying that last line. That is my only complaint. Anyway, here's the back. And this is Breaking Dawn. Don't be afraid, I muttered. We belong together. I was abruptly overwhelmed by the truth of my own words. This moment was so perfect, so right, there was no way to doubt it. His arms wrapped around me, holding me against him. It felt like every nerve ending in my body was a live wire. Forever, he agreed. Oh. I love this book so much. Honestly, my only complaint about this series is that we only got 4 books. I kind of wish that we could have gotten more. But I don't know, because I don't know what would have happened. However, still to this day, I still would love to have read Forever Dawn, which is actually the sequel to Twilight that Stephanie Meyer originally wrote, which is basically much like Breaking Dawn. A lot of things that happen, but of course Victoria is the one who actually goes to the Volturi. Not Irina. So in that version, Irina lives. But you know, why is there a... Really? You've got to be freaking kidding me! Look at this shit.
There's like a clunk of fucking glue just stuck to this freaking page. Are y'all seeing this bullshit? Look at that fucking horse shit. Ooh, bitch. Ooh, bitch. This is really sad, guys, but I've actually never read The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner. I know it's sad. It's sad. I mean, I've read the ending where Bree dies, but I've actually never read everything. And actually, I'll actually be re-putting this differently because the way this was set up in this box, it was Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn, and then The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner. But on my bookshelf, of course, I have this book in hardback. I have one of the first editions thanks to my brother. I also have this thanks to my brother, so best brother ever. But yes, but on my bookshelf, I have it set up where it's Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner, and then Breaking Dawn. Mostly because this book takes place in Eclipse. So for me, I put it there because, well, it goes within Eclipse. So that's why I put it right next to Eclipse. Then Breaking Dawn. This is really long, so I'm not really gonna show it, but I'll show it to you guys like this, and then I'll turn around and actually read it. The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner, an Eclipse novel. I watched his body change. He crouched on the roof, one hand gripping the edge. All that strange friendliness disappeared, and he was a hunter. That was something I recognized, something I was comfortable with because I understood it. I turned off my brain. It was time to hunt. I took a deep breath, drawing in the scent of the blood inside the humans below. They weren't the only humans around, but they were the closest. Who you were going to hunt was the kind of decision you had to make before you scented your prey. It was too late now to choose anything. Because I've never, like I said, I've never read this, but from what my brother tells me, I like the fact that we got to get knee deep into what newborns are really like. I'm sad that Bree, of course, dies. It is really sad to me. I'm putting these back in here right now, but it is sad to me because it's so unfair that she, once she got turned into a vampire against her will. But honestly, that's pretty much average. I mean, if you look at most vampire books, if you look at most vampire books, especially Amanda Ashley, that's like a common theme in that series that people are turned against their will. But oh, come on. Alright, I've now put them back in here in the order of which, I like to put them. So, there we got Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner, and then finally Breaking Dawn. I love this series so much. And, I like the fact that each book is longer than the book before it. With, of course, Twilight was like 498 pages. New Moon was a little bit bigger. Eclipse was quite a bit bigger, and of course, Breaking Dawn, the Thunderdome of the series, which is 756 pages. Well, technically it's 754. It's 756 because of the Twilight Index. It lists all the covens and the members of all the covens, and it even has a little mark, like a star, against them if they are gifted. But honestly, I would still to say I would love to see another book, a spin-off of this series, like in Renesmee's point of view, because it would be interesting to know, like with her, like maybe like 100 years later or something like that. You know, where Renesmee has grown up and her and Jacob are together, and kind of see if they can have children. And also, it would be interesting to see how Bella is handling being a vampire for 100 years, or I mean honestly, or maybe even make it even longer than that. Like I would love to see a book. I would love there to be like, because the thing about vampires I love is the whole thing with them being immortal. You can write into the story. You can make one book, and then the sequel to it, it could be set like hundreds of years later, and it would be kind of interesting to see how the vampire character kind of grows and changes over the centuries, and I find that to be really really interesting. Yeah, I just think that is really really neat. That's the thing about the Vampire Diaries and the originals that I actually genuinely like. I mean, they didn't do it until like the end of the series, where they actually started doing time jumps. Because the season 7, the end of season 7, it's like 3 years later. So 3 years later. Which I like, and then it's like do that time jump, and then I believe it's only like a 6-month time jump when season 8 actually started. So I did really like that. The originals actually show bigger time jumps than that, because season 2, when season 2 started, it's been like 6 months. It's been like 6 months. I forget how much a time jump is season 3. I do know, of course, at the beginning of season 5, the beginning of season 4, it's been 5 years. And of course, the original season 5 airs exactly a month from now. It's like April 20th. By the way, that was moved up. They were supposed to begin airing March 20th, which was yesterday. But I found out like a couple weeks ago that it got pushed to April, which is annoying. But I've heard mixed things. I've heard that the time jump for season 5 is going to be 8 years. I've heard it's going to be 10 years. I actually would prefer it to be 10 years, because Hope was 7 years old in season 4. So if it's a 10-year time jump, that means she's going to be 17. Mostly because I'm wanting it to be a 10-year time jump, just so that way Hope is actually a lot older. And of course, the season is going to be mostly about the Michaelsons, including Hope, and it'll be interesting to see what Hope is like now that she's like 10 years older. My hopes for this season is that she triggers her werewolf curse. And I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna stop right here because I totally got off topic. I got into that, and then I mentioned things I shouldn't have. That's not the point of this video. But oh, so gorgeous, guys, so gorgeous. I've actually wanted this for a really long time. Unfortunately, I will most likely never read these books out of. I have my own hardback versions. Well, Twilight and New Moon are in paperback, and then Eclipse and Breaking Dawn and The Short Second Life of Big Tanner are in hardback. So if I do read the series, I will most likely read them out of those copies, just because I've broken them in. I've read them out of those books for years. I've wanted these for a while, but I will most likely use these only as a collector's edition. And that's pretty much all I will end up using them for. The title of this video it's going to be unboxing the Twilight Saga White Collection. Probably something like that. My hair is looking very blonde. It's because I straightened it a couple days ago, and I don't know what it is about the heat. Maybe it's the heat, and maybe the heat when I straighten it causes it more of a shine. But every time I do it, it makes my blonde hair look more blonde. What as a side note, what I'm doing with my hair currently is I'm kind of wanting the toner to fade out of my hair, so it's more of a brassier blonde, not so much as light it is now. Mostly because I will be buying some Bellamy hair extensions, clip-in hair extensions. They're like $270, but you can do like a payment on it. They have this through like Affinity or whatever, where you pay like $24 every month. So once I get a job, I'm definitely going to be doing that. So I can buy the extensions, and then I can actually just start wearing extensions all the time. Mostly because my hair is long, I guess. I mean, it's long compared to other people's, I suppose. But I mean, it's just not as long. And every time I straighten my hair, it thins my hair out because normally my hair has some thickness to it. It does. It has some thickness to it. But I mean, I like my hair straight because it looks really good when it's straight. But that's also why. No, excuse me. But that's also why I like extensions, because one, I can straighten my hair, and extensions will add thickness to my hair. So I can straighten my hair, or I could just not. You know, it would look fine. But yeah, the extensions. I'm getting 24-inch extensions, mostly because that's as long as they've got. They do have another set that is 30 inches, which I mean, I may look into, like, in the future, like when these extensions have been worn to the point where I just can't wear them anymore, which will be like at least a couple of years. Extensions, so if you take really good care of them, with clip-in extensions especially, they'll last a really, really long time. And especially since I have no intention of washing them anytime soon, especially since I'm just going to be wearing them and then taking them out. Which is, honestly, if I could go back, I would have done that instead of buying my Zala hair extensions. But that's you know, for another video topic. I don't think I ever actually made a video talking about my hair extensions. Maybe I'll do that a video maybe next month sometime. But my next video will be this video will actually go up after my Ipsy Glam bag. It'll go up after my Ipsy Glam bag. So you'll see this video probably in April. Alright, I will see you guys in my very next video, which should be my Wish haul. I'll be splitting that video into probably 2 parts, just because I got so much from Wish, and I don't want to make no hour-long video, or like I don't want to make an hour-long video just talking about all my things I got. So I will be splitting it into 2 parts. So that will be the next video you guys will see after this one. Alright, I will see you guys next time in my very next video. And at the end of the day, always be true to who you are, and never apologize for you living your life and your truth. I'll see you guys later. Bye.